and we're live once again on another Tuesday. I have Superman in the house today and Jeff Young, the LinkedIn guru. And we are talking about a very interesting topic today: how to save your time and sanity on LinkedIn, which feels like a challenge, Jeff. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, exactly.
So actually, before we do anything, we always need to assume that there's new people joining us for the first time. Can you just quickly say who you are and what you do so people know who you are before we get stuck in?
Well, first of all, thank you again for having me back, Jillian. It's always a pleasure to come do this. We've done this about 4 or 5 times now, I think,
and we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I would do this anytime. So yes, my minute to win it here is namaste. They call me the LinkedIn guru. I think that's primarily because I've been doing this for about 14 years. So I'm kind of like farmer's insurance. I know a little bit about LinkedIn because I've seen a little bit about LinkedIn. The guru, if you look it up in the dictionary, stands for teacher. Okay, and obviously that's also a quote that everybody who knows me hears me do all the time as well. Hi, I'm a teacher. What's your superpower? Okay, so there's why the boy in blue is behind me right now. And thanks to Jillian, I actually have the boy in blue behind me right now because she finally told me that, oh, look, StreamYard can do backgrounds. Hey. So I'm here to teach, and I'm here to hopefully help people save a little time and maybe more importantly, save their sanity on LinkedIn.
All right. So where do we start? There's so many.
Well, I tell you, I think apropos within the last 24 hours, there's a great thing that I want to point people to, and that's your last post. Okay, because your last post is something about saving your sanity on LinkedIn. Because, and I'll quote you and I'll quote Tina, because we happen to be in a Zoom call, and then we did a little bit of experimenting. And the save your sanity is to hold your horses, okay? And yeah, exactly. And not necessarily take the very next really shiny object syndrome kind of thing and make it yours immediately. Because one of the bad parts about this new profile video that's coming out is that if you upload the profile video and now you're on profile video, you can't see other people's cover stories. So especially in Tina's case, being a recruiter, she wants to be able to see everybody's videos if they're there. So she should probably not take advantage of the profile video yet. Okay. And I don't even know what profile video is. I mean, first of all, Kevin Turner, one of our, and I'm going to mention him here in a minute as well for another quote. But he says that, it's not always the best thing to be the first in the first wave of things. And I won't go through all the rigmarole explanation about how LinkedIn rolls stuff out, but let's just say that it's random, and it almost always in the recent past has been something that will not allow you to see something if you don't have the new thing, which is kind of a weird way to roll things out. But so save your sanity, hold off for a minute. And oh, by the way, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hold your horses.
Yes, hold your horses. And one of the other things that I think, this is a quote from Kevin, okay, is that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Yes. Knowing somebody else about how to get access to these new things and what the best way to approach these new things is a great idea. So Kevin's a really good person to know and connect with in terms of what's new on LinkedIn, because he may have it, he may not. I mean, we're all still waiting on something, okay? And that drives me a little crazy because I'm still waiting on the bell. I do not have the bell.
I can't believe you don't have the bell.
I've been telling LinkedIn, yes, I would love to have a notification that says, I want to pick this person and I want to see all of their stuff, okay? And notify me when they post, but I can't do that yet. Okay, people can ring my bell. If they go to my profile, they can ring my bell. They'll see the bell next to just below the profile, the background picture. And you're waiting on dark mode, right?
Right. Forget about it.
So there are so many of these things, and LinkedIn is so fast about rolling some of these things out, is that I'm at least 3 or 4 things behind on some of these things. Some people have it and some people don't. And I got to tell you what, another thing that drives me crazy as a teacher, okay, is that I'm trying to show people how to do stuff. And when they look at my screen, I may be showing something that they can't see yet.
Which is horrible.
It
It's
can be a
horrible.
problem.
It's hard to
It
it's
can be a
hard to
problem.
document that. And it's like another thing about the video that we did yesterday, which go to my profile, guys, you'll see the video.
Yep.
You showed things that I can't see now because I got switched to the profile video. So you showed things like a drop down and a barcode and a QR code and all these different things
Yep.
on my video that I don't see. And here I am, a video person, I can't document it. So to me, this shows why it's important to have a community, because when these new features roll out, it's like I have it, Kevin has it, John Asperian has it. We're all these test cases, and then you and Tina don't have it. It's by working
Yep.
together that we see, oh, now this is we
Yep.
see this, you see this. This is why it's really important to have community so that you can work out all these new things together. And,
Absolutely.
I do have to give Kevin credit. Kevin was telling people also not to implement this yet. Hold
Yeah.
on. He
Yep.
said the same thing.
Yep.
Hold on. John
So
Asperian saying the same thing. Everybody's saying chill for a bit.
on that one, yeah. So again, to summarize that first point is that there are two things that you should do in terms of saving your sanity on LinkedIn, and that is hold your horses, okay. And secondly, trust your tribe. Okay.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yep. Yeah, because your tribe's going to help you out on this every single time.
I like that. TYT.
Yeah.
Hashtag TYT. Trust your tribe. Trust your tribe. So yeah, so those are great. We talked about the video. So what are some of the one of the things that I really liked, and I did put this in the post today, Jeff, when I was advertising this live, is that you said use one click, instead of doing 7 clicks to do something, saving your time is the less you're clicking around. So
Yeah.
the direct route to get to something is so important, because I think we get in here and we're like clicking on this tab and clicking on that tab. And it's like, I know every time I come on LinkedIn, I'm like, where the heck are my saved items? I can never find my saved items. It's like those old commercials. Remember, where are those twist ties?
Yeah.
It's that same thing. So what to you are some of the one clickies that are really important we need to know about?
Okay, well, first of all, let's talk about where you do this as well, okay? Because we know that LinkedIn has 60% of its people accessing this stuff from a mobile app, okay? Exactly. And I'm not one of those people, and neither is Kevin, by the way. He said this many
Neither am
times.
I.
I
Neither
am
am
I am
I.
more efficient. I am more effective. I save a lot more time if I don't do it on the phone, but I do it on a desktop browser. And that's where the one click comes in.
Yeah.
Because of what you got on a desktop browser, there are these magical things. Well, okay, maybe not magical, but they've been around forever, okay, called bookmarks. And
Woohoo.
once you find your way to something, all you have to do is bookmark it, okay,
Mm.
and therefore you can get to it like that with one click instead of three, four, etc., several deep, right? So let me illustrate this one by another thing that saves my sanity on LinkedIn. And we got to tell people this phrase as well. You're building your house on LinkedIn, your profile. You're building your house on rented ground.
Mm.
LinkedIn has this stuff. You don't have this data. Okay, you can't. It's all theirs. It's up in the cloud. You can't get access to it unless you have an internet connection and you get up to the cloud, right?
Right.
Okay, so one of the things that I save my sanity with is that I do something that not a lot of people. If only one person, a lot of people on this call will probably know this, but if only one person doesn't know this, my job will be finished today, because you need to back up your data on LinkedIn. From LinkedIn, get a copy of your backup data. Okay. Now I can show you how you do that as one click, but I'll show you how to get to it first. I'm going to actually share my screen. Okay. And I'm going to share my screen and go over to where we can get access to that. So I'll click here. Okay. Bring it up, do this. Okay. And click share. And once you bring that up, all right. So now I need to go to,
Whoop. He disappeared. He disappeared, guys. Hopefully he'll be back in a second. So I think he clicked something and disappeared. So I'm going to keep going because this is always fun when this happens. I'm sure Jeff will be back. So what I think Jeff was about to show us was about backing up your data. And there's different things on how long. Oh, he's back. He's back. Okay, I got you back.
Okay, the techno geek just messed up. I apologize. I needed to have that in a separate tab. Okay, now I can actually share that separate
Got it.
tab. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Okay, hold your horses. Oh,
hold your horses. And we always have so much fun with lives.
yeah, really.
Anything.
All right, here we go. Share now. Are we good now?
Yep, we are good. We're good.
All right, so here we are. I was in messaging. I'll go to my homepage. Okay. Let me tell you how to do this. This is quick and easy, even if you have to go through several steps. But the place you need to make sure that you go to back up your data, get a copy of your backup data, okay, is under Me, Settings and Privacy. Now, okay. I've already done 2 clicks, right? So there, Settings and Privacy. You need to go to the Data Privacy window. That's the tab here. These are all different tabs.
3 clicks.
Data Privacy, okay? And then you can get a copy of your data by doing this. Now, I almost always, you can pick and choose which ones you want here. As you can see on the screen, articles, connections, imported contacts, etc. All the stuff that you might want is separately. Yep. But I almost always recommend that you click the Download Larger Archive button. Okay. And then request the archive.
Got it.
Okay. More clicks, but there it is. Okay. And now that I've done that, LinkedIn's going to ask me for my password, and I will say done. Okay. And now it will say request pending, saved. Okay. And that will then tell LinkedIn that I want a copy of my data. And now that that's happened, 2 things are going to happen. Actually, one thing over two different periods. Okay. In 10 minutes, LinkedIn is going to send me a link. By the way, this is another thing that you cannot do on a mobile app. I actually checked this the other day. If you try going to this very same spot, guess where LinkedIn sends you? To the browser. Okay. To the desktop browser. You can't do this from a mobile app, period. Okay?
Got it.
So in 10 minutes, I'm going to get a link, an email from LinkedIn that goes to my primary email, and it will say, here's a link, go get your first copy of your archive. Okay. And then in 24 hours, I'll get a larger copy. So they get a small portion of it together, send it to you, then they get the largest portion of it together and send it to you that way. Okay. And that's how you can get to that. And then you can then go actually download that. And I go download and save it. And I'm going to stop sharing now. Okay. So I can come back to here.
So how often do you do this, Jeff? And how do you organize it? Do you have folders on your computer with the date? And
yep. I do, because it gives you the date when it downloads it. It gives you a file name and downloads it. So if you just keep doing it, it will separate them by date. Okay. And the data that's in here is something that then you can manipulate offline. Let's give another shout out.
Craig Langley is very good with that.
Bingo. Exactly. Give another shout out to Craig Langley, because he even has a little program. Go talk to Craig. Tell him I sent you, because if you want to manipulate that data, he has a way that you can actually manipulate that data to see what messages you sent to whom, how often, how frequently, how long it's been since you followed up with them. Wow, this is great stuff. And that's just one portion of these things. There must be 40 or 50 different files in this backup. Okay.
And then tell people what kind of files, because most of them are going to be Excel, right?
Like it's like an Excel. CSV, comma separated value, which is an instant import into Excel.
Okay. What if you don't have Excel? Can you use like Google Spreadsheets or something?
You should be able to import a CSV into any other, compatible spreadsheet type of program. And that's why they used .csv, which stands for comma separated value. Sorry, my geek showed again.
Yep.
But it's a file that is just set up that way, so it can be imported to any other type of spreadsheet that you want.
Okay. And then how often would you recommend a typical user do this? Once a month, once a week?
I would say at least once a month. Okay. I have honestly, when I'm pretty active on LinkedIn, I'll do it a lot more frequently. I've done it on occasion about once a week, because for example, this has saved my keister many times, believe me, because there's so many other people that they'll go out there and they'll make an update to their about section, or something goes wrong and they lose their about section. Oh no, what am I going to do? I don't remember what was in my about section. I've got to retype all that
Mm,
stuff.
mm.
I don't know. That would drive me nuts, right?
Right,
So
right.
this is a way of saving that, because then if you go out to your about section in these backup data archive, all you have to do is copy it and paste it back in again, and you're back up again with all what it
Mm.
was before. So again, there's backup. It's called a backup for a reason. Okay.
Right, right.
And you know, if I were NASA, I had to have backups of my backup of my backup, etc. But that's one way of saving your sanity, is to back up that data and go after it that way.
I
And
love it.
again, do it
Love it.
as frequently as you think it'll be necessary, because if you're making a lot of changes, more frequently is probably a good idea. And versioning is probably a good idea as well. That's kind
Okay.
of a technical term as well, because versioning was, if you keep it out there by date, you can go to any date. Oh, I don't know, I had this about a month ago or so. You could go
Right.
find out what it looked like a month ago,
Mm,
as an
I like
example.
that. I like
Yeah,
that. So yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Let's we've got some comments, Jeff. So let's
bring
hop
them.
over and do some of our comments. There's only 49. Okay. we'll
Is
go
it
we'll
only
start yeah, we'll start at the top. So we have
got a
fabulous
big Jim?
Jim Wolf. Wonderful to see you, Jillian and Jeff, Niraj. Yay, two
Hey,
of
hi
my
Vicky.
favorite people. Hi,
Nigel.
everyone. Can't wait.
I'm
Woohoo.
trying to follow in Nigel's footsteps from last week.
I know he was wonderful. Hi from Leslie in Florida, Jillian and Jeff. We
Content
got
Angel
Claire
Claire.
popping in. LinkedIn user.
Uh-oh.
This is a good one, Jeff. Teachable moment. What's
Okay.
going on here? We see this a lot.
I see this a lot, and I've actually saved this one as a bookmark as well. Okay.
Oh,
So let me share my screen and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay. If you're a LinkedIn user and you don't know how to get at this, okay, so here we go. Share the screen, pop over here. We still
okay.
good?
I'm not seeing it yet. I'm adding it. There we go.
There we go. Okay, you have to add it every single time, I think. All
Yep.
right, so here's what ends up happening with that one. It's also a setting, okay? And again, I could try to manipulate this and show it to you. I think it has to do with visibility,
Got
okay?
it.
And it's let's see, visibility of your LinkedIn. Oh, see, I'm probably going to get this wrong.
Who
All
can
right,
see who can
let
see
me
your
go find my
name?
bookmark.
Who
Okay.
can see your name?
No, it's not
Edit,
about who
edit.
can see your name. It's visibility off of LinkedIn. Okay.
Okay.
And so that's not the one I'm talking about here. Yeah. And see, all right.
Oh, you got dark mode.
Yep. I've got dark mode, as you can see. You can have my dark mode if you want it.
I'll trade you
I'm
for the
never
bell.
going to use it. Yeah. Okay. LinkedIn user on live. Okay. It's under visibility of your LinkedIn activity. Okay. So it is.
And is that not a teachable moment of why it's great to have a bookmark?
Yes, I guess so, because I was trying to find it again, and I don't know where was that. There are only about
Yep.
287 of these settings out here. Okay, so for the person who shows up as LinkedIn user, go to this section: visibility of your LinkedIn activity, profile discovery, and visibility off LinkedIn, and turn it on.
Okay.
What that will allow then is you to show up with your actual LinkedIn name and
And your
picture
picture. And your
and picture.
picture.
Exactly.
Because we have no idea who you are. You
That's
are a
correct.
blank head, and these live streams are awesome teachable moments for, connecting with other people, I get to know a lot of people watching live streams. So this is a really important thing. And this is not only for LinkedIn Lives, Jeff. Is this also going to show up on comments if you're this blank head and name?
Well, this is anything off of LinkedIn. So what it's really allowing is allow services such as Outlook or
Okay.
other tools outside of LinkedIn, including Restream and StreamYard and
Okay.
etc. Okay, to actually show you show up on those as well, because
Okay.
otherwise you're just going to show up as an anonymous, if you will, LinkedIn user.
Okay, great. Okay,
Okay.
let's carry on. So that was just a really good perfect timing. Okay. Oh, Vicky. Hi, Jillian and Jeff Young. I really need to watch this. We all do. We all do because it's, one of the things I don't want you to leave without doing notifications because that's something you showed me and I showed Tina and it saved us a lot of times of, just that cool hack. Hello,
There
Jillian.
she is.
Speaking of Tina. Okay. 22222 from Belgium. So isn't it that's kind of a cool thing. Today is February 2nd, 20
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Like, oh my gosh, if we had only done this at 2 p.m. But the question is, what time zone?
Yeah,
What time
exactly.
zone?
It's 2 p.m. somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And 2
And
a.m. somewhere as well, by the way.
yeah, and I did a typo in the graphic. So I got how to. So I got two hows, two twos.
That was on purpose, right? Yeah, yeah, that was on purpose. I'm sure it was. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, I need to be here. Everybody says they need to be here. It's so true. Does doesn't everyone know Jeff Young? That's kind of how I feel, but I always feel you might find him on YouTube. So everybody needs to know where's the drum roll. Yeah, we need to get those
We'll
sound
do a rim
effects
shot.
coming.
Yeah. Everybody
StreamYard
knows
has
Jeff Young.
something, but I don't know if
Yeah.
they have the drum roll red. That would be good. We're chuffed. We're chuffed if they do. Hey, all, we've got Eve. We've got Leslie. Hi, Jillian. Looking forward to this conversation from Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
Fantastic.
Completely agree, Jeff. Many jumped on this, even advised others to turn it on, and that move would be a mistake for any. Oh,
Yep.
that's so true. It was lovely to see you talking
There she
about
is.
the
Miss
holding
Hold
of
Your
the
Horses.
horses. And
Yep.
again, this is why it's great to have community where you can just say, "Hey, I'm seeing it one way. What's another one?" Great quote from Kevin Turner. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know either, Jeff. Okay. Niraj. Hey, great quote from Kevin. Oh, we got the
There he
man. We
is.
got the
Hey, Big
man
John.
cooking. He's always cooking up something while we're going live. Good work on your profile experiment yesterday. I was an early adopter and wish I'd waited a little. And just as a little extra thing, during that video yesterday, I showed that I sent John Asperian a message. I typed it in and then I added a heart emoji. Here's the kicker. When I hit the heart emoji, it trumped the text
Yeah.
and took the text out. So all John got was a heart emoji, which, you think about it, that could send a really weird message to people. John knows me, but imagine me getting reported for like being the Tinder person on LinkedIn because I'm sending heart emojis to Ben. So it just goes to show you these things are still working out its bugs. Nigel Cliff, fancy
I love
meeting
it. The
you.
tribe is having a conversation amongst themselves. Exactly. That's exactly what this is
Yes,
for.
yes, absolutely. Okay, if LinkedIn isn't careful with this disjointed tool out, it will confuse and frustrate people. It's so true. And
Drive you a
and
little nuts, right? Yeah. Well,
yep.
and I've heard people who've been on LinkedIn a long time, like you and Kevin and John and Brenda Miller and all those folks. To shout out to Brenda as well. Some days they actually have to admit they have a love-hate relationship with LinkedIn.
Oh yeah.
Because I love what it can do. I really do. People who know me know that I love LinkedIn. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't be on it all day, which is what I am. Okay, but I think part of that process is to have a process when you go on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
This will save you time as well. Go on LinkedIn with a goal
Plan.
in mind.
Yep.
Or if nothing else, do the same process each time so that you're just going through the same steps each time. And a part of that is really the way that I process my notifications. I do the same steps every single time.
So before you get into notifications, because I do want you to share your screen and show your process because that really helps so that we can kind of go, who have I responded to and who have I not responded to? So I thought that was really good, Jeff. But just back it up for a second, zoom out. What is your process? Like, are you going on LinkedIn like once a day? Well, with you, forget about it. I'm sure it's like every hour on the hour, but it's like, do you have a set plan? Like I go in and I do my notifications and then I check my messages. Like, do you have a flow? Do you have a flow?
I do. I start, of course, at the home page. I usually look at who's viewed my profile. Okay.
Ah,
Well,
Okay.
I almost always do that because there's always an opportunity to see who's viewed your profile. And I usually thank them by looking back. And another reason I look back is because I want to see if they might be someone I'd love to connect with. Okay, so
Okay.
it's entirely possible. So who's viewed your profile? This is on the homepage down the left-hand side, right?
Right.
Another thing that if you've done any content, then you're also who's viewed your post is there, the number of views
Right.
for your post. So that's a direct link into your post again. And I process through the post because I want to see if anyone else has made a new comment.
I do the
Okay,
same.
so I'm always going back to see whether or not someone
So are
else
you
has.
doing relevant or recent with your
I
comments?
switch it because it comes up relevant. I switch it to recent almost every single time because that brings the new ones up to the top. And then
Yeah.
I can make the comments that I want to and do that effectively and efficiently without having to scroll through all the comments that are there, right?
Right. Right.
And next thing I normally do is my notifications.
Mm.
Actually, if there is anything under my network, I usually hit my network as well because that's where you've got invitations and those types of things. And that's where people will invite you to events.
Mhm.
Okay, so you want to go see what those are as well. So I do my network. So I'm kind of moving from left to right across the
That's
screen.
good. That's
Okay,
great.
okay, and then I will probably process my messages. Okay,
Mhm.
because again, those are important. People have reached out to you, or or someone in my tribe has
Right.
has sent me something that they want me to look at. So I'll do those as well. And then finally, I get to notifications. Now, to give you a feel for how often I do that, I probably will do that probably about 5 or 6 times a day. Okay,
Okay.
because yeah, I'm a retired guy. I could spend all day on LinkedIn, and frequently it feels like I do. Okay, but well, and okay, so call me nuts. I mean, I love it. I love it that much because I
Makes
can
sense.
have those conversations with people all over the world, and I love doing that. But every single time I go back onto LinkedIn, I follow that same process all the way across the screen over to end up being notifications. And the good news about notifications is that it will show you what's new, or if you've
Mhm.
got any new ones with the red number, etc. Okay. And then I process those notifications. But even inside of notifications, because of the way notifications would get processed, if you just click on them, that's another thing here's another thing that will save you a great deal of time on LinkedIn. As a matter of fact, my most recent post was about this, okay, which
Okay.
was in the future, okay, a past post, which I said, here's a whole bunch of bookmarks that I did a newsletter on, okay. And one of the things that I highly recommend to people to save their time on LinkedIn is that when you're processing almost anything, use the right mouse click
Okay.
because the right mouse click will allow you to open it in a new tab and save your place where you were before and not
Thank you.
make you go nuts trying to find out where you were before because it took you someplace else.
Scroll, scroll,
Yeah,
scroll.
exactly. You feel like a yo-yo? Well, you just were. You bounce. You're one of those. You're one of those ball games that kids jump into because the balls go everywhere. Okay? Yeah.
Love it. Love it. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. Let's see. So, okay, there was something else I wanted to ask you about. I sorry, I was so busy listening. My brain just like
No, no
flew out the
problem.
window here. But okay, so the notifications, right click again. This is only going to work on your
Browser.
browser. It's not
Exactly.
gonna work on your phone. So,
Nope, can't be done.
that's kind of another reason why I don't really like to use my phone. I like to use my phone for some things like voice notes and that sort of thing, but, and especially like LinkedIn Lives like this, I always go through the native post, not the note. I ignore the notifications because they'll take you to the event. They don't take you to the LinkedIn Live post.
Exactly.
This is just something squirrely that
And there's another time saver. Okay. Of all of the things that you might have noticed on my screen when I shared my screen, up at the top in my bookmarks bar, I have a bookmark for Jillian Whitney. Because if I'm going to process the comments that are going to happen on this live, I'm going to have to go directly to your post,
Yeah.
get to the post, and then scroll through the comments and do it. Because the notifications aren't going to work for that because it takes you to here, the live,
Right,
where we are now.
right,
And I can't
right.
see the comments. I can't comment on the comments. I can't, etc. So having that
So
separate.
when you bookmark me, can you clarify, are you bookmarking my profile or my activity? What's the best thing to bookmark?
especially when we're talking about this live and commenting on the lives, the best thing to do is go to your profile, scroll down to where it says see all activity, click see all activity, then click the posts button, because that then is the bookmark that you want to save. And
Okay.
that bookmark will then get me in one click directly back to where I can look at the comments and see what else has happened. And I can do the same thing as I normally do on my posts as well. Do more recent, okay, instead of top, more relevant. And then I can process the newest ones as well. And again, this is going to happen over time because people are watching replay as well, right?
Yep. Yep.
And so when I get one of those kind of notifications, I almost invariably ignore that notification for the live and go directly to your profile instead.
Right. Right. Okay. So here's the thing that I want to ask. So you talked earlier about checking out to see who's viewed your profile. So if I say I bookmark my competitor and I do what you just said, go to their profile, I go to their activities, and I go to their posts. So say it's, I don't know, Jane Brown, right? She's another video marketer and I want to just kind of keep tabs on her. So now if I use that bookmark, does she get the notification that I viewed her profile or not?
Great question. The answer is no, because
Woohoo!
you're not going to their profile, you're going to their activity.
Mm,
Okay, so you can check out anybody's activity you want without looking like a stalker.
nice.
Okay, yeah, exactly. And I never mind when people come to my profile anyway. I love it when people come, so I never look at anybody as a stalker, but because I just hope they're interested, and if they're interested, they keep coming back. Okay, because I tell people to go to my profile to find content all the time, because there's a lot of content on my profile as well, in my
Right.
featured section, et cetera. Okay. And here's another little quick shout out. Talking about bookmarks. Okay. We need to talk about this one as well, because I don't want to leave this one out. Kevin is another person who just gave me, and
Kevin Turner. Kevin Turner.
Yeah, excuse me, Kevin Turner. Okay. Gave me a really good thing that was a new feature, if you will. It's kind of a result of the new feature, the new profile layout. And then I passed it along to you. Have you ever wanted to share your recommendations section directly with somebody?
Yeah.
Instead of pointing them at your profile, you can point them directly to your recommendations or your education or your featured section or your honors and awards section. Every single one of these has a bookmark now. And the thing that will tell you whether or not it can be bookmarked or not is if you go into your profile to do the edit, and when you click the edit for that section, it brings up a separate page.
Okay. So you just look at the top. Just look at the top in the URL.
Yeah, because it will bring up a separate page, and it has details and then the page name on it. And that will then allow you to save that every single place you want. Let me share my screen. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. You with me?
Yeah. Let me get it. Let's see. There we go.
Okay. So under LinkedIn, well, what I've done is I've saved a bunch of profile links. Look at all this stuff that I can save and then send people to directly.
Oh my goodness.
All my activity, articles, posts, documents.
Wow.
That's a resources link. Okay. Here's my featured section, my experience section, my education section, my volunteering section, my skill set. You get the idea, right? Now,
And this would be fabulous for job seekers. Like if job seekers wanted to, just kind of highlight a recruiter or hiring manager to go to a particular thing, or if you were a speaker and you wanted people to go and see, here's all of my, volunteer experience or, whatever.
Exactly. And it's and see that you can see the bookmark there, right? It's got my entire URL for LinkedIn. Okay. And when I point to it, it'll pop up again. Then it says /details/ and then it has the section name. So if I wanted to send that bookmark to anybody, I could send somebody directly to my recommendation section right here this way. Okay. And what I said was, here's what I'm talking about. When you go to your profile and to know whether or not this section can even be done that way, okay, about can't be done that way, because when about comes up, it doesn't come up with, okay,
it's just a box. It's just a box. Okay.
But experience can. When I do this, it takes it to this place that has this back arrow, which is a separate link. Therefore, it is a separate bookmarkable URL.
Got it. Got it. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool. Sorry.
Very, 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 very cool. Okay, so we've hit the 30-minute mark. I knew we would very quickly. And we said that we're going to try and do a slider and we'll publish it to complement this live with some of these bookmarks that we talked about, some of the sort of key things, the notifications, whatever. So we'll do that as a supplement. Hopefully by the end of the week or the weekend, we'll get that out. And any final words of wisdom you'd like to share, Jeff?
Again, have a plan. I think that's the key. And use this process. Maybe it's because I'm so anal retentive, but it works so well for me to have the same thing to do every single time. And I just go back. And what that really has allowed me to do is not ignore anybody. I don't want to ignore anyone who comments on my posts. I don't want to ignore, so processing this, and I didn't get to show how I go through notifications, but suffice it to say, right mouse click will work for both the notification and, oh, by the way, the person's picture. Okay. So if you wanted to go to their profile instead of going to the notification, in a separate tab, that would work as well. So depending on where you click, you can get a different result as well.
I
So
love it.
have a plan, and again, be as effective and efficient as you can, because I get it. I mean, I literally could just get lost.
You can.
And that would frequently happen if I didn't go, oh, I need to go on to the next thing. I need to go on to the next thing. I need to go on to the next thing.
I love it. I love it.
Thank everybody for coming.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. And I'm already going to book you to come back again because it's so valuable. It's so valuable. And I can say on behalf of everybody in the LinkedIn community, we so appreciate you, everything that you do out here. You lead with your heart. You are like your Superman teaching away, and it's awesome. So thanks. And everybody will be back here next month. We're like already into March. How did that happen? So we'll be here back next month. We've got a great lineup of all sorts of cool people coming in March. And thank you very much. And we'll see you all next time. Okay.
Thanks,
Bye,
Jillian.
everybody.